Hello, it's Mike Dugan with the Premier Homes team and Premier Probate Services. We all know that losing a loved one can be a very difficult and incredibly emotional experience. First, we would like to pass along our condolences to you and your family during this challenging time. You know, in many cases, the logistics involved if you live in a different state can make the process nearly overwhelming. We hope that the information you receive here helps ease your stress and pain. Today, we want to help explain and answer your questions about the probate process. You know, most people don't actually know much about probate, which makes the process not just a bit scary, but also quite frustrating at times. So what is probate? Well, probate is the formal and legal process that gives recognition of a will and appoints an executor or personal representative to administer the estate. Well, what's the purpose of probate? The probate system exists to make sure that taxes are paid. Yes, the IRS wants their cut. Debts are paid, and that the heirs, most importantly, get what is rightfully theirs. Now, probate varies from state to state, but here in Colorado, there are three basic probate processes. First, there's the small estate. These are estates that are worth less than $50,000 and do not include any real property like houses or land. Next, there's the informal or uncontested estate, which is different from formal probates as the court is not quite as involved in the process. This is typically because there's no expectation of the will being contested, and if there's no will, the administration of the estate follows a more clear path, which is generally less expensive and less time-consuming. The formal estate probate process is more complex and involves a higher level of attention and far more involvement from the court. This is usually because the estate has more complexities or a possibility of a threat of litigation from someone who may contest the will, or if the will is unclear or invalid for some reason. Next, you may be wondering who's involved in the probate process. Well, there are essentially four parties to the probate process. There may be more once probate is open, such as an estate liquidator, maybe a realtor, and of course the IRS. So there's the personal representative or executor, a probate attorney, and this could also be an estate planning attorney, the clerk of the court, judge, or magistrate, and then, of course, any heirs or beneficiaries to the estate. Now that you know a little bit about what probate is and who's involved, let's talk about the process of opening probate. When someone passes away, they are known as the decedent. A decedent can have passed either testate, where there's a legal will which typically names a personal representative or executor of the estate, or they could have passed intestate with no will, which means there's no personal representative or executor. In this case, there may be a third party appointed by the court, such as maybe a fiduciary, administrator, or even a family member. Once you know if you're dealing with an intestate estate or a testate estate, you'll need to know what to provide the court to open probate. You'll need to provide a copy of the will, of course, if there is one, the death certificate, a list of assets, and this is a list of all the assets that should be included in the estate. Things like houses, cars, personal property like household items, and even jewelry. A list of liabilities. This would be a list of all debts and how much money is owed. And a list of the heirs. You'll need to provide a list of the heirs and anyone who is due a disbursement once the probate is closed. To close out probate, there are a few important steps that must be taken. First, all debts, liabilities, and administration fees, including taxes, need to be paid. Estate assets like real estate, cars, or personal property can be sold during the probate process. All liquid assets and real assets in the estate should be distributed to their heirs. Final accounting is then completed, and then closing the estate in Colorado is a process where personal representative then files a sworn statement with the court asking for probate to be closed. One thing that is very important to know is how long the probate process takes. More importantly, how long until you're able to settle and close probate. This is important because the heirs will want to know when they can expect to receive any inheritance. This time can vary from state to state and will definitely vary based on the size of the estate. In Colorado, for instance, the process is a minimum of 6 months to close probate and could easily take 2 years or more, depending on the type and complexity of the estate. Please remember that the probate process is a detailed legal process, and if you're not familiar with what to do and when, it may be best to hire a probate attorney. It's not required, and here in Colorado, the judicial branch even offers all the probate forms online. Now, keep in mind that people who act as the personal representative or executor of the estate don't normally do this very often, maybe once or twice in their lives, which makes it more important to have legal representation. This is especially true if you live out of state and want to become the PR here in Colorado. This provides invaluable peace of mind that you've partnered with someone who understands the Colorado probate process. The last thing you need to know is that we are realtors and not attorneys, and this video is here to help you understand the basic probate process, not meant to be legal advice, as we do leave that job to the attorneys. We're happy to handle everything else in the process, and please feel free to explore our website or check out our other videos to learn more.